Life Uncontained is a young couple that's doing two things. One, they're building a very nice home out of cargo containers, two of them as a matter of fact, and they're making a very good living on YouTube, looking at the number of responses they have and actually supporting their build.
When we first decided to come out here and do this, I remember telling my family, and I just remember thinking that we were nuts. Spencer didn't have any experience in construction or anything. Obviously, neither did I.
While they've been doing this, they've been living in a small cargo camper for a couple of years now. I watched from the beginning as they had the cargo containers delivered. They started mounting them on posts, and then started cutting them up and then connecting the two to make a home. They're living completely off the grid and have taken the time to have one child and then a second. And I've watched them do this from the very beginning. Their personalities really add to their videos, and they're a lot of fun to watch. Are two ladies that travel around Canada and the United States, and they have gone to Mexico also. And they're in a Sprinter van, and they're a couple, and their adventures are so upbeat. The music is, their laughter is, and they really put together an amazingly good video. It's almost documentary worth on some of them. And they're really doing well on video with YouTube also.
We're Jazz and Crystal. This is Bella and Izzy. We've been living and traveling in our van for the last 2 years. Join us each Sunday as we share our adventures as we navigate through life on the open road. Subscribe to our channel and join the pack. We're driving the Icefield Parkway, which is an epic stretch of highway that connects Jasper National Park to Banff National Park. And let me tell you, the views are gonna be unreal, so buckle up.
They do a lot of moving around and have some really interesting adventures, and their content is always so upbeat and so interesting. I look forward to watching them every single Sunday. Tucker Gott. I don't even know why I watch him, but I watched him from the very beginning. He's a young man who flies a paramotor. It's a parachute being flown while you have a fan on your back, and he's probably one of the best. And he makes interesting videos, their adventures. He just flies around and goes places. Watch.
Today we are actually headed out to the beach to go flying.
You can live vicariously in the air through him. And he always ends his videos like this.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace.
Elsa Ray and Baron, they go from one boondocking place to another. They live in a scamp trailer. They have a large following. They have a good YouTube video business. We watch them build things. We watch them cook a lot. Take a look at them. And again, it's all about personality. Elsa is extremely artistic, and she's very artsy and craftsy. You'll see her make things in the Scamp trailer, and she used to have a business of a graphic artist before this kind of life. Like a lot of these young camping couples, you'll see them do a lot of cooking, usually using health sort of foods, and many of them are vegetarians and vegans too. They've recently purchased a large tract of land and in Colorado, and this will begin the next leg of their adventure and of their YouTube business. And then there's Timmy from Truck House Life. Timmy lives in Alaska, and he has a cabin that he built on the back of his flatbed truck, and he travels all over the place. In real life, he is a driving tester for the DMV, but he likes a lot of outdoor sports, and again, it keeps coming up, but it's all about personality. I'll let his introduction to his YouTube channel just kind of speak for itself.
What's up, y'all? It's Timmy, and today I'm going to take you to one of the cooler runs up here called Canyon Creek and just take you down it and see what happens. So let's get to it. Welcome to Truck House Life, baby.
Not too long ago, I started watching The Far Side, Sailing the Far Side. It's about a couple of sisters who have a family boat, and they just sail it around the Caribbean. They visit different islands, they catch their own fish and eat it, and clean it on deck and show you how they do it. Their engine needs work once in a while, and they do their own repairs and their own maintenance. It's just a kind of a fun thing to watch, and they don't have unbelievable personalities, but they do hold a good conversation and tell us what they're doing, and it just makes for a kind of an interesting viewing sometimes. Isabelle Page is a young girl that lives on some family land in the mountains someplace, and she's very outdoorsy. She's built a tiny house on a trailer and lives there. She has some hard times because she's a long ways from the road. Her car breaks down a lot. She works very, very hard in what she does, and you can tell when you get a close-up and look at her hands, you can tell that the hands of a young person, but a young person who's done some really hard work and has gotten them dirty enough so that they really don't get clean, no matter what you do. She does a lot of cooking, and it's all, health food stuff, which is great. And she works outside and cares for her land, and she really outdoor stuff. She bathes in the river in the winter, and likes to go up the mountains and seems to enjoy nature a lot. It's a kind of a naive sort of feeling to it, and that she's always talking about how things are wonderful and awesome. But she's fun to watch, and I started watching her not too long ago, kind of recently, and find her just interesting.
Life just genuinely feels so much easier now that it's getting warmer. It's like this weight has been lifted off of me, and I just feel so much more free. I'm gonna spend another day clearing this land because there is so much to do. Oh, but this is so amazing. It's a sun shower. I love sun showers because the sun's out, but it's sprinkling. Oh, spring is the best.
What About It is something I follow because I follow SpaceX. In Boca Chica, Texas, they're doing some amazing stuff. You'll see some of the pictures in a second. They're building, and it's Elon Musk. He's building a rocket that will go to Mars. He's getting ready very soon to launch the first one. It's a huge rocket, the largest rockets ever built, and his plan is to launch hundreds of them a year once he gets them going. They're built very quickly, and it's really quite amazing to see what they're doing there. And Felix follows it religiously. He's from Germany, and he's actually moving to the United States to continue this. And he puts it together every week so that you can see exactly what's going on with the construction and the testing.
My name is Felix, and I am your host for today's episode of What About It? And as always, there's been a lot going on in the space industry lately, so let's dive right in. Starship updates.
If you've looked at any of my videos, you know that I do make fishing lures from scratch. And one guy that I learned a lot from, and he is a character, is a guy on a YouTube site called Marlin Bates. And this guy really, really does a good job. I mean, he's an artist, but his personality is half of his viewership, and his viewership is really quite extensive for a kind of a one-trick pony. It's a YouTube video that has a very narrow audience of people who like to make baits, but I think a lot of other people are watching him too, just because of him.
It popped in my head today and I kind of got confused. And I went back to my catalog of videos and I looked at them and I'm like, what? Like, I haven't done a deep diving crankbait yet? That's almost more standard than your typical square bill crankbait, just a deep diver. I haven't done a deep diving crankbait. I've made them before, something like that. I've never made for a YouTube video. Aren't you surprised? Well, surprise. On to the next bait.
And on a more serious side of bait making is the engineered angler. He is an engineer, and he really knows how to explain things really well as far as making fishing lures are concerned. And I watch him when I really want to know something, and he does a superb job with it.
So if you're new to the channel, my name's Franco. I'm a professional engineer, a lure builder, a lure designer, and an avid fisherman. And I make these videos to add just a sprinkling of engineering and physics to the art of lure building.
And what does Joyce do in her spare time? Well, as far as YouTube is concerned, she likes to look at movie moments, often of books that she's read, and certainly you can find almost everything. For example, Pride and Prejudice, which you'll see right here, is one of them that she liked frequent.
He is not. Tell me. 10,000 a year, and he earns half of the Derbyshire. The miserable half.
Anyone out there a fan of the Outlander books and TV series? Well, you might even be obsessive. I live with one of those people. Now this might seem a little odd, and I don't tell everyone this, but I enjoy watching swing dance, and particularly electro swing dance, and no one does it better than Grace Annette. She's more fluid than almost anyone I've seen, and what do I know about dancing? But it's just a lot of fun to watch, and the music is good too.